That should be good. All right, I'm just eating some food real quick before we kind of dive a little deeper into our itinerary. I'm gonna make itineraries for these lives, um, just so that they're, intentional, as y'all like vibing out with me. Because I still do respect my private space, even though I am a content creator. Okay, so we're just gonna chill real quick while I'm eating this, and then we're going to do a divination. Yay! Okay, this will be my first time doing a divination live, so I do feel a little weird about it, but we roll with the punches. Okay. So I'm gonna say I'm eating a salad. So it's mixed greens in there, like kale, um, kale, avocado, Brussels sprouts. I have some and what do you call that? The chickpeas. And then I have some cranberries in there. Um, let's see what else. I got cabbage. I got green cabbage, red cabbage, and carrot. I have quinoa. Quinoa and black beans and broccoli. So that's what I'm eating. So like I said, I'll just kind of chill out with y'all, eat this real quick, and then we're gonna do the divination. And let me make sure that I can actually see comments here. Yeah, you can ask a question. Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, I'm just looking at kind of everything, um, the little different features that they have. Hey, greetings. Yeah, I'm just looking at the little features that they have because I have to go more live, guys. I'll be in my own world. I'm not gonna lie. Hell, greetings. I'm caught up with everything with wifehood, community, family, you know. So, but I'm doing this 7-day live YouTube challenge. Okay. So, something that's been on my heart and spirit is just like, just being tired, you know. Um, yeah, thank you for yeah, me and hubby, you know, our realm is spirituality and holistic health. So, yeah. Um, okay, so I was gonna talk about, yeah, I've just been kind of over the last couple, I would say 48 hours. I just been needing to get my energy back up. Um, because when you're building community, you know, and just I'm very intentional. And I also have to facilitate and lead a lot. So my energy just get pulled and it'd be so exhausting. So I'm really just expecting that, prioritizing my space, right? Prioritizing just my energy. You know, sometimes people want to come around just get access to energy when you can sign up for a one-on-one session with me. I do offer spiritual consultations. You can order one of my courses, learn, right? It's like, some people, they just want energy, and I can't, I just think that's so wrong, you know? And there's consequences to not being reciprocal. Like if you're just like a type of person where you just want to come around and you want to take from something, but you are not giving, right? And this is a lot of the things that we talk about with my work, because some people may not intentionally be doing this. They're just not aware of the lack of level of depth of work that they just have not done, you know? So we all have to do our inner work. We're all responsible for ourselves. This is what we teach in a Mahi community. So I'm the founder of the Mahi community. And we practice a spiritual life system that I was initiated in for 7 years. Okay. My teacher was Master Yao out of Georgia. And after I completed that, I started the Mahi community. And me and my husband, we build intentional community. He has a business called Supreme Wellbeing, and it's dealing with everything with wellness and health. So it's very intentional, and at the same time, we want to make the world a better place, so everything that we're doing is contributing to that. So yeah, I put the links here because everything that I offer, like with everything that I do, the value is really in the education. So at the heart of it, I understand, like I'm building community, but at the same time there's education involved, right? And I'm personally um working on self development myself. So that's the other thing. Like I'm working on self development, and I'm always just, I'm always, there's always, something I'm doing to work on myself at the same time that I'm building intentional community. hmm So, so yeah, that's really what it's about, you know. Okay, so, you know, y'all, this is the other thing about social media that I have to get comfortable with, because you just have weirdos out there. I have a husband. I'm divinely protected. I have a community. You don't want to play over here. Trust. So I just be like that. I gotta move through that. I'm not gonna lie, I have to move through that because um I don't know, people are just weirdos. And then I guess with social media, your stuff is like you're like you're not doing content creation is public. So I guess that's the best way to find your tribe and your community. But it sucks at the same time, the other side of it, with weirdos in the world. Gosh, I wish we could just live on a planet where weirdos just does not exist. I swear. Whew. That'd be heaven. Um, yeah, I saw that like a question. What type of music you like listen to? What type of music do y'all like listening to? Let me see if I can go ahead and add it. So, what type of music do you like? Okay, I'm posting this question. I wonder how can I post it? Let me see. Answers will appear in the chat. Okay. All right, so that's the question. All right, let's see. So I got this. What type of music do you like? There we go. For me, the type of music I like is I do like 90s R&B, classic, timeless music like Marvin Gaye, Sade, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross. Ooh, so many. I love NDRE. NDRE, fun fact, is one of my favorite artists. I got to see her one time, front row. Amazing. It was an amazing experience in Chicago. Yep. Yeah. That was in my first marriage. So he took me out there. It was nice. Okay. Let me say it. Taylor Swift, y'all, the sister's gonna come for me. I ain't never know when I was gonna say it publicly, but I am a die-hard Taylor Swift fan. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a Swiftie. I've been a Swiftie since I was 13 years old. I love listening to Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato. I was a Disney fan. Let me see. So yeah, so when I like Taylor Swift, I resonate a lot with her music because she would talk about like teenage girl stuff and like fall in love with a boy and your dad and all this stuff, and it resonated with my life. Like I feel like I was literally going through that. Her album Flawless, oh my gosh, I listened to that running back, and she Taylor Swift, what was I about to say? She her most recent song that came out, she been putting out some fire the last couple years. I'm not gonna lie. I could do it with a broken heart. Ooh, delicate. But like that album Flawless, 15. So I would listen to that song all the time when I was actually 15 years old. And I felt exactly the way she talked about in that song. You belong with me. I felt just like that. Even I was a cheerleader. This is kind of funny. I was a cheerleader, but I've just always been a nerd. So I just resonate with her music. I resonate with the depth of her music. I like that she's not her stuff probably do go, trendy, but at the same time, there's like depth to her music. Like it sounds like, oh, Poppy, like I want to get up and dance around. But if you like really listen to the depth of her music, she is deep, okay? And I don't know if she had like additional writers or whatever, but I mean her music is fire. Like her penmanship is fire, her lyrics is fire. Anti-Hero, love that song. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I am a Swifty. The cat's out the bag. The cat's out the bag. I'm a Swifty. But you have to be boxed in, you know. I'm almost done, and then we're gonna do the divination. It was something else I wanted to talk to y'all about. Mm. Yeah, it was something else I wanted to share with y'all. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It took a lot for me to get the energy to do these lives, because it's just so much, that I have to do. There's so much that I do. You know, entrepreneurship is not. It's not for the faint of heart. Especially when you're building in purpose in a unique niche like mine and my husband's. It is just, the grind is real. But it's a lifestyle, and if you're in purpose, I mean that we're doing something that is helping our community and benefiting humanity. So I'm fully in my purpose. It's been taking some time to get here because, well, that's for another story another day. So it was something that I was going to talk to you all about. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about this real quick. So the message that came to me was to tell y'all I'm a Tantra practitioner. So Tantra is an advanced intimacy practice in which it requires biological man and a biological woman. And as the practitioner, um, it will help you attain soul alignment. So even when we think about diseases, all physical diseases manifest first in spirit. So what Tantra is a modality that aligns you with yourself, remove blockages from chakras, and help you restore the supernatural part of your DNA. This is what they think like junk DNA. It's not junk DNA. This is the supernatural part of who you are. As human beings, we have a godlike nature. So when you're stepping into the realm of Tantra and it's done the way that it was designed to by the creator, this is the closest that you're getting to downloads from the Most High. So Tantra is a very powerful practice, and you have to be chosen to be a practitioner of it, right? I do teach Tantra, and I do Tantra for men, long distance sessions as well. So you can schedule those on my website, ashasekmat.com. I have that in the description. So something I wanted to mention about this. There is a pathway to transcendence. And many people struggle through it because I was just watching the video real quick before I tell y'all this. And in the video, the guy is just like, I'm not spiritual anymore. I don't want to call it that. I just exist. You don't need all these things for spiritual. You saying like rules or whatever. You just exist. And that is no. That's not how this reality works. There are laws, not laws in the way that we think in terms of man-made laws. Those exist, right? Yes, there's common law, okay, but I'm talking about universal laws that are from the creator. And the reason that we're here is so that we can understand and master these laws. Spirituality is not just to merely exist. That's part of it. But if you just did that's not this reality here on earth. This is a school. So you're here to learn something. You're not, I mean, I guess the elementals, I mean, maybe a part of their existence is maybe like that, but if you're a human being, you're a human being. No, you don't just want to exist here. No. That means that you're not attaining consciousness. The whole point of this reality is to attain higher consciousness. So I can only imagine someone saying that. There's like, and then you just have children. You're not a community. You don't understand relationship skills, but you're saying, "I'm in the stars." No, you're not. You're on Earth. Wake up. Wake up. Now, I've had some resistance getting into the spiritual space. I'm not gonna lie to y'all because I just saw like people in the space, they'd be like, this is fake. Or you just be like, I know this ain't right. Like, like what is this foolery? you know, but we step into it, you have, of course, both sides. I mean, you got the people who really about it, who are really doing this, who are the teachers of spirituality, and then you just have the frauds and the fakes. You're gonna have that. So that people have to be able to use discernment now. So I went through a 7-year initiation, which is very intense. And you have to be called to do that. And most times the people who get called to do that don't want to do it because of the level of seriousness of the work and the level of responsibility. Right? Because when you're tapping in with knowledge and then you're a conduit between that realm, the spirit realm and unseen into the physical, there's a high responsibility because anything that you say or do or deviate off of it, you know what I'm saying, that can be higher consequence. So for me, so I was just like, oh my gosh, but then it has also something to do with like soul purpose. So those type of things is what it is. And so, it's intense. It's intense. And I'm just trying to get to a space where I'm kind of more like really grounded in it and just kind of focus on whatever the creator wants me to do. You know, I I am God, but I am not the creator of the universe. The creator of the universe is what its intelligence is through me, right? But it's not. I'm not with that. I don't know. I don't even know what it is, right? But I want to know more of what it is, and I want to be in tune more of what the creator is. So yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, if you all love me, y'all can send me donations. Sustaining our projects and business and community building. So my Cash App, Asha Segment. And then most importantly, though, what I want y'all to do is get to our school community. Okay, we have a library of courses there because I want y'all to learn. Okay, I want y'all to learn, but I accept support as well because people do ask about that often. But yeah, this is about learning. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, getting back to that. So I'm saying all this to say I got a message for y'all. And y'all, I should probably tell y'all this. Oh, okay. I appreciate you saying that. Oh, maybe can I put it in? Let me see if I can put it in the chat. It's actually a good thing to know, y'all. I gotta practice. I gotta practice being on these dang on lives. How do you go in a chat? This is so funny. It's Asher Sekmet. So you can see my name. That's my so are you saying stay in hermit mode for extended time, stunned spiritual goal? Oh, so that's a good question. Yes, it will. Yeah, that will. Because the point of spirituality is not to just exist. You're as a human, that would make you something else. So if a human being is saying that, they're like a child. They're not, and I'm not saying that to be like a ridicule, but think about think about that. Just think about this for a moment. Like somebody who says, I'm just gonna exist here as a human. And then they start to have intercourse, and then they birth a child, and then they just be like, I just exist. And that child is born into a situation that they're in poverty, and they don't understand anything about this world, character, family, structure. That no, we're not here to just exist. Earth is a school. I'm sorry to break it to y'all. I wish I could just do that right now, but but we all chose to be here, right? We all chose, our souls chose to be here to learn. So this is school. So we came here to learn, came here to evolve. That's why we're here on Earth. Let's see. Yeah, thank you so much for teaching about human energy. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, because it's the human design is very advanced, and that's why when you look at it even deeper and deeper into this work, like I'm a tantra practitioner, that's how you know that is proof that God exists, because of how advanced the human design is. That's proof. But the way they don't teach it like this in the modern Western world, like formal education, I have my degree in biology. you know it's like they don't teach it in this way, and perhaps that's not where you're supposed to learn that, right? They don't teach it like that. But when you step into true spirituality and metaphysics, you start to really see the power of the human design, right? We have a supernatural part of who we are, but they don't want us to know that, right? Because, this is a matrix. They want to put booby traps, so that we don't access the God within. So it's very advanced. The human design is very advanced. And the more you start to understand that, and this is regardless, of ethnic group, this is regardless of where you're born on earth, the human design is very advanced. So, as long as people go within, then they can access that. We can all access the creator at any time. You don't have to go to a temple to do that. You really don't even have to necessarily. Well, it's good that you need teachers, so you need teachers. Like I had a teacher. I still have teachers. My husband is one of my teachers. He's kind of guiding me in some things that I gotta help with, some self-development right now. See, because like I said, Earth is a school. We all have some development things that we have to work on. And I'm gonna do that until I die, until I transition, you know. So yeah. And I do need to figure out how in the world do you do comments, y'all. Y'all, this is so funny to me that okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't want to do a green screen. Yeah, I wonder how can I reply? Let me see. No, I don't want to do any of that. Pin message. Yeah, maybe I can at the moment. I'll figure it out. But yeah. Yeah, so as long as y'all can get my cash app, just look at my link tree. I have those in my descriptions in my videos. So you can just take a look there. Again, it's Asha Sekhmet. My PayPal is Asha Sekhmet at proton .me. All right. And then you could always, of course, get like my ebooks. I have the Divine Community ebook. I have Poly Talking Points. It's a PDF that help you develop the language around how to approach people about your poly lifestyle. That's a huge, significant part of my work, dealing with uh, family and community infrastructure, and the structures that build sustainable community. So that's my purpose too. But anyway, like I said, but I wouldn't be able to be doing that if I didn't learn lessons, right? So you go through reincarnations, you learn lessons through family dynamics and all that stuff, because you have to learn. That's why we're not here to just be, like, just be. We're not here to just do that. We're here to learn too, you know. Um, you know. So it's both, it's balance. We want to strive for balance in all things. Now, the other thing I was gonna say was, hmm. Oh yeah. So let me drop y'all a jewel real quick, because I've been dropping some jewels for y'all. The last thing, this was the message. The message is, a lot of modern humans in the West have not attained like a higher level because there's a disconnection from their heart and their genitals. So there's a disconnection between their heart chakra and their root chakra. So Tantra helps with aligning those. But even before I definitely highly recommend Tantra always, of course. Tantra is a lifestyle, is beautiful. But I'm saying some other things you can do is just get in touch with your emotions and inner work of trauma. Okay, that's how you start to begin to connect your heart chakra and your root chakra, because the disconnection between those will limit your capacity to experience pleasure. And I mean that in both an intimate way and in existence, like just living. Okay. So what I just gave y'all was a gem. Okay. I just gave y'all a gem. Take that and run with it. Y'all welcome. There's a great book out there, Heart and Soul by DJ Green. So focus on the heart. There's practices in there that kind of goes over that. And when I do be around people and even with myself, I recognize, the heart is the gateway to the soul. Okay. So you can get that on Amazon, and that'll help you with shadow work. I also have a divine community workbook that can help you with shadow work as well, in terms of patterns, in relationships, so that you can break free, so that your human consciousness is elevated to the way relationship models will be in the new world. So you'll be evolving with the times and how relationships are evolving. So I have a workbook for that. That's on my website, ashasekmet.com, as well. All right. So that's in the store. All right. And let me finish this up, and then we're going to do the divination. Y'all, I have to really push myself. Oh yeah, nobody answered that question. What type of music do you listen to? What type of music y'all listen to? I'm always open to music suggestions. So let me know. I'm trying to think. I like Chris Brown. I love Ella Mai. I'm not gonna lie, I love her music. Yeah, I'm not even gonna tell y'all how much I embarrassed myself. I went to an open mic. My husband is an artist. His purpose is a creative. That ain't my purpose. I'm a creative in a different way, through public speaking, with family, community, poly relationship infrastructure, and spirituality. But it was funny because I do like singing, but I was not prepared. I didn't realize how little I knew, like, lyrics. Like, I could listen, with the artist singing. I could tune in, I could listen to, and I could say the words while they're doing it. But if you cut it off and I had to do karaoke, I realized how little I know lyrics. I embarrassed myself so bad, y'all. And they were just so supportive. They was like, it's okay. Yeah, the sisters that was like, they were supportive, but I was like, now was some sisters that did do it, and they knew how. They was, oh my gosh, very talented. I have an appreciation for art, no matter what it is. So if it's like painting art, musically art, um, writing, authorship, I'm really inspired by creativity, and that's why I'm so deeply inspired by my husband. Because he's literally the most creative person I've ever met in my life. And I'm laughing because my personality is like, structure, information. My husband called me an AI informatic. Like, I just taking a lot of information. It'd be funny, y'all. So I'm trying to work on my creativity, to say the least. Creativity, entrepreneurship skills. And I got pulled into entrepreneurship. I don't think that there's a problem with like different ways of like working, as long as it's building towards community. Because I don't know if everyone's meant to be an entrepreneur. I don't know. I do know where times are shifting though. Times are shifting, with AI over the job force and everything like that. I do know we are shifting into more of a self-sufficiency society. So, I take it that you'll need to have some type of skill set or trade or, purpose. Purpose, follow purpose. All right. So we're going to do a divination. All right, so let's do a divination, y'all. Y'all not answering this little question. Okay. All right, let me see if y'all can kind of. Let me see. Yeah, you may not be able to see everything, but that's all right. I wanted to show it. Let me see. I might be able to still. Let's see. All right. Let's see. That might be a little better. All right. All right. Yeah, it looks like y'all can see. It's kind of got some a little messy over here. All right. So for divinations, I work with the I Ching system. All right. So that's the coin toss. That's one. That's one of my main divination ways I do divinations. Okay. So I just kind of keep my little keys and stuff here. All right, and then I have my chart. Got the chart. All right, so let me break this down real quick. So as an oracle, what I am doing is connecting with the oracle, or what you may consider the creator energy. So a great movie that I recommend that you all watch is Everything Everywhere All at Once. That movie is about the oracle. That movie is about like what an aspects of the creator, because oracles are not just women. Men can be oracles, shamans, and things of that nature. So it's both energies. Okay, it looks different. Like the roles. The roles will just look different. Okay, especially when we talk about in the human realm, right? In the human realm, I am not androgynous at this point. Not I'm not. I am a biological woman. So that means 80% of my genes are feminine. Okay. And I have to work with my husband to complete me. And then in building a community, poly relationships. Okay, so that is a requirement of the tantric lifestyle, of higher spiritual information. Yeah, that's what we teach in our system for the Mahi community, working through the opposite sex. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, I'm breaking it all down to y'all. So the question that we're gonna ask, okay, so when we talk about what the oracle, I'm just being a medium, right? So I get chosen to do this, and my vessel is a medium between the unseen and the physical. So when we ask questions, um, we have to make sure that the intent is not from ego because it will know that, right? And the future, right? If you're doing questions asking about the future is never set in stone. Okay? The future is a streamline of probabilities. So we can get information on how we should be preparing or what we should think about or focus on, so that you know we're learning. Okay, so that's what the oracle is. So the question that I'm going to ask is, um, what should be our focus, um, for the future? So this is going to give me a hexagram reading. So and then it does say that you have to be like, try to be as specific as possible, but it understands our thoughts, and so just try to be, like I said, don't be from ego. Be sincere, be humble, and you should be using this to be a better person, right? Like, you shouldn't be using this to do crazy stuff, or your ego. So the question that I want to ask the oracle is, what reading should I get? Like, what reading should we get, like, for humanity, and especially like here in the West, I'm in the US, and even just humanity, like wherever we are, what is to come? Like, what should we focus on, right? Like, what should we focus on for the future? So let's ask it that. All right. All right. Two tails, one head. Two tails, one head. Two tails, one head. Two heads, one tail. Two heads. Three heads. All right, let me double check which I have kind of like my keys. And I will admit that this does take practice. All right. Just trying to see where, like, I have a little key. Okay, let's see. Gosh, y'all, having stuff everywhere. Okay, I think that's supposed to be a broken line. Okay, so this is present. This is future. All right, let's see what's our hexagram. So, all right, so we have Chin. Chin is a creative for the lower hexagram. Right. And then we go to 2 for the upper trigram. We have 2 broken lines and 1 upper line. Okay, so that's the mountain. So it's 26. So we have hexagram 26 as the present. And then let's do the future. The future with the broken lines. 11. All right. Let's look up what the meanings is. I have hexagram 26, and you can also Google these. I have hexagram 26 for the present, and I have hexagram 11 for the future. So they usually kind of work together. Like if you follow whatever it says for the present, then that's what the future would be. So let's kind of look at that real quick, and then we'll wrap up. Okay. All right, so I'm doing my divinations right now. I'm looking up the different ones. Okay, so I have a chart that I look at. All right, so the 26. So we have hexagram 26. All right, so hexagram 26. Containment of potential. The points to the command and control of great power. A power that increases as it is wisely stewarded, like a river that has been dammed or a pot of boiling water with the lid clamped on. Holding and containing power produces enormous potential. During normal times, daily ritual and habit keep life ordered and serene. But in times of exceptional opportunity, the force of a powerful personality is required. Focused attention is required to channel this potential and achieve supreme success. You have considerable reserves of energy and support to draw up. This is an excellent time to nurture creativity by collecting and organizing your best ideas and plans. Now, even large and difficult undertakings can be successful. So, what this is saying is that we are at a time of great possibilities and opportunities, limitless. In times that we're in right now, this is the time to get in your bag of the great ideas that you have. And this is a great time for opportunity. A hidden source of power for those who wish to be a hidden source of power for those who wish to do noble deeds is the study of the past. The lives of wise and successful men and women are like treasures buried in the earth. Good fortune comes to those who unearth such valuable treasures by applying the lessons of the ages to their current situation. I love that. Y'all, they're giving us gems. Thank you. Look, thank you to the Most High Spirit. They're giving us gems, y'all. This is powerful. All right, so changing line. Let's go to, let's see, the top one. So that's line uh, 6. All right, so supreme fortune, great and powerful forces that were inhibited in the recent past by temporary restraints are now free, building in strength and momentum. Use the creative powers to advance strongly at the present time. right with the current. Do not hesitate to accept a new level of responsibility. This is an opportunity to exercise powerful positive influence. All right. So let me go and look at. So if we apply this, what will be the future? That's what it's telling us. All right. So if we apply that, the future will be harmony. All right. So harmony. Hexagram 11 is harmony. Earth seems to be above heaven, the sky, and heaven is on earth. The gravity of matter merges with the upward radiation of light to create a condition of deep harmony. This this juxtaposition denotes a time of peace and blessings for all living things. In the affairs of humanity, tranquility comes when the good, strong, and powerful show favor to the lowly. And those are more modest means as well. Let's see, disposed toward those who are currently blessed. There is an end to all feuds. Rather, in such a state, the energy is high, the way is clear, and the prospects for great success is outstanding. A deep chaos abides in nature, but humanity, by carefully responding to the rhythms and cycles of time, can find peace in the natural world. By planting the right crop in the right place in the right season, the mindfulness of the farmer brings harmony to the natural world of plants and, in return, prosperity to his family. Similarly, business needs to adjust to the natural cycles of different seasons. Only through flexibility and constant adjusting can order and growth both be maintained. This piece produces a time of flowering and prosperity. The wise person chooses or channels this positive energy to all areas of life and in proper proportion, just as a farmer waters his or her fields or an orchard. So, but be vigilant and discriminating peaceful conditions promote the growth of weeds as well as flowers. So it gave us a little omen there too. But overall, this is beautiful. So the future will be harmony. So hexagram 11, and we go back to the first one, containment of potential. So opportunity. So if we take advantage of the opportunity today as human beings and where things are, you will be on the side of a harmonious heaven on earth. So that was our reading for today, guys. Hey, so we got it done. So that's awesome. I love the reading. Appreciate Spirit, for guiding and being with us. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go for a little stroll outside now. To end this live. Let's do that real quick. All right. Whew. All right. So we did pretty good, guys. That was an hour live. I appreciate everyone that came through, and yeah. So yeah, tap in with what we have. My husband has a really, really good books on wellness. He also has a lot of herbal, natural remedies. You can go to mysupremewellbeing.com. Okay. And yeah, we're just doing great things, guys. Um, let's see. Anything else? So I'm going to be doing this 7-day YouTube live challenge. So what you want to do is subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button so that you know when I'm going live. Tomorrow I'll likely be going live with hubby. I know y'all love seeing us together because black love is powerful. I know it. So okay, so yeah, anyway, so hit that. And yeah, you want to be tapped in with Asher Segment is doing because okay, we is getting ahead of the times. We are in divine alignment. We don't chase money, likes, publicity. we're chasing purpose, God, the creator of the universe that's eternal, and heaven on earth and peace on earth, right? A lot of the things that I do is because I dislike so much about this construct of this world and this society, and I just refuse to accept things. It's just that's the way it is. No, I know our power as human beings on this planet. We create this reality, and it is up to us to build the new world that is peaceful, and loving and abundant for our children in the generations to come. All right, guys. Love you guys. Tap in with the Mahi community tribe. And we out. I'll see y'all tomorrow on the live.